Welcome back. Mike Rondo here with another video today, and this video is a response in a sense, or at least it's another ghost tale from a YouTuber that I watched. I subscribe to him, he subscribes to me. I checked out his video today. I'll leave the link in the description below, and I'm going to talk about that. But first, I think this is the perfect way to end my birthday with my Sherlock pipe here, my mini Sherlock as I like to call it. I'm smoking Autumn Evening. I think it's perfect. And I got one of my favorite beers, Yingling, Black and Tan. Sitting by the electric fireplace of love. My favorite lighter, the hot dog lighter from the Zippo here. Got my candle burning. Things are good. It's a good day. It was a good day. Had fun. And this is a good way to end on a ghost story. Is a good way to end this. Now the thing about this is my second response to my original ghost story video, which was pretty cool. I know Mark from RI, he just did another video of a quick shot of one of those little cemeteries that all over New England. There's all these little cemeteries. I think throughout the Northeast, New York, Pennsylvania, and all that. Colonial New England, if you will. There's all these little cemeteries all over the place. And he did another video, and he said something about telling his ghost story. So I hope he gets to do that. And Redcoat, now that's a classy gentleman. I assume Redcoat's return, and I'll get to him maybe tomorrow morning if I do a coffee talk, morning coffee, which I haven't done in a while. I'm sure he's got a ghost tale. If not, I'm sure he could make up a really good one. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, let me get to Renaissance Piper's ghost story, which I found it very compelling. I believe him. And again, this is kind of a combination of... He had two ghost stories. One was his personal experience, and then one was the experience of another person who was on this place, this island that he was working at, and they had an experience where they saw something similar to mine, but a little more hands-on, I guess you could say, is the best way to put it. But let me have a little puff here. And by the way, Renaissance Piper there, your church warden is awesome. I'm very jealous. I got to find a church warden. At some point, I got to get a good church warden. Hopefully, I don't know. I got to get one soon. But it's got to kind of speak to me. But anyway, well, let's get into his tale. The thing that I find very compelling about his tale is because he when he first describes it, first off, he's a scientist, basically. What was that that dropped? I don't even know what that was. But anyway. Oh. He is a scientist. And so he's trained in the hypotheticals and going down the list and the scientific method, which I kind of trained myself. I'm a logical, reasonable person for the most part when these things happen. Like I said, with my ghost tale, I still don't know what the hell I saw or experienced. And I still try to reason it to some kind of psychotic psychosis thing with my friend. But, like I say, I always live at the end of the day, you can't explain everything that you experience in the world, and that's one of them. Well, he was a similar thing when he was explaining his experience, which is very similar to Marissa's experience, the previous video that I talked about, a ghost story with hers. He was experiencing sounds, like but not poltergeist in her sense, like things banging, moved around and such. Sure, he had doors opening and closing, and like he says in the video, he's reasoning about it. He's like, all right, well, it's an old building, it's drafty, blah. He's trying to think of these processes, and as he explains it, it kind of seems more logical that that's not the reason for these things happening. And then there was one experience where he's on the bottom floor, and I believe this is right, Renaissance Piper, please correct me if I'm wrong, and he hears big footsteps upstairs, and it sounds like people taking a pitchfork and moving hay or something like that. And he goes on to explain it or whatever and whatnot. And obviously I'll leave the link in the description below because it's a long video, but he explains the details, which are important in the story because as I was listening, I'm trying to get all the details of his story, and he's a good storyteller, I gotta tell you. It weaved in very well. Lucasfilm could learn a thing or two from him. That was a joke from me. Most of you won't get that. But in any case, so he tells the story, and the way he weaves it, he tells the history, which I love, because he tells the history of this island and all these things, and you know, his experience with that. And it was interesting because it was kind of like a combination of Marissa's poltergeist kind of thing, like I said in my video when I was, I guess, diagnosing it, right? Given my professional ghost hunting opinion. She heard sounds and things were moved around. Kind of a similar, same thing. So that's just interesting. But then he goes on to say that there's this other place on this island. They call it just go watch the video, and he'll explain it to you. There's this other building that I guess these people from the feds were coming in, and they were staying the night on this island, and he picked them up, and he took them to this specific place on the island where, and I don't want to tell the ghost story, I want you to go listen to him tell the ghost story, because I think that's proper. But I'm just giving my commentary on it, if you will. So go watch that, then come back and watch this. Where he explains this woman now had more of an experience like me, but a little bit different. Whereas my experience is when I saw this figure, this robed figure, and I looked straight at them, I didn't feel any... It was almost like, and I was thinking of this too before I came out here, and I get to thinking of like, well, what would this be, her experience, this woman's experience that he was explaining in the video, and my experience where you see something, physically see something, and you kind of get a feel of a presence. I felt like is this like, you know, in the videotapes, you watch videotapes and you see this person walk through the video and it looks like a ghost, but it's really just, you know, in the old days with the VHS tapes, and it's just that the tape's been used so many times, you're seeing something from the previous video that was erased, it's been worn out, so you see that image. I'm wondering, and saying to myself in life, if we're like a holographic universe or something else, or there's a multiverse, and maybe there's things that are colliding or whatever, and the timeline's off, where the timeline kind of bends in a way where I'm seeing this monk walk by me, and he's seeing me drive by in this car, and he's wondering what the hell that is, and it's like a time warp in the space-time continuum, and in his point of view, in his reality, I'm the ghost, but in our reality, he's the ghost kind of thing. I don't know, it's trippy stuff, but you know, when you learn about the multiverse thing, your mind just, it goes all over the place. But anyway, back to this story. So she has this experience where she sees this figure, and she goes up to this figure and kind of touches the figure, but goes through the figure. I didn't have that, thank God, because I think I really would have probably lost my mind. And it was weird. With my experience, it was more of a bewilderment, I think, or belittlement, or no, bewondered, or whatever the hell that word is, where I was just in awe of what I was seeing, because again, I'm a very rational thinker. Even at that young age, I was very much, you know, I didn't believe much of anything, unless I physically saw it or touched it or whatever. And here it was, and you see that, and your mind is like, whoa, this isn't supposed to be. And she had that similar experience when she just ran out of the house. But I think she was more scared. I wasn't scared. I was more of a shocked and kind of just in awe. Like, I never felt like an ominous, haunting, kind of scary kind of feeling. It was very, like, nonchalant. Like, they were going about their business. And I just interrupted them for, like, a few seconds. And, like, that was it. But, yeah. So this has been pretty cool. I'm so happy that I've had a few people come forward, and there's a few others that have hinted that coming forward with their ghost stories. And, you know, this is the time to do it, everybody. It's Halloween. I know we can kind of feel like, you know, you come forward and say this, people are going to ridicule you, whatever. But what's interesting with his story is these are scientists. This is what I find fascinating about his story. I don't know if he's officially a scientist now. I believe he is, judging by what he tells and says in his videos. He researches or something like that. And this woman was a meteorologist or whatever, because they were going up to study the damage from Hurricane Hugo, I believe it was, in the Carolinas or whatever. So this was like a resting place, and they were going to go, and this person was a scientist as well and saw something that shook her, and she can't explain it. So that was fascinating to me, is that people that are made to be objective in their analysis of things and be logical about this, that, or the other, and you know, deduce like Sherlock Holmes, well, as he says, the probable thing, even though how irrational it may be, is probably the most likelihood, right? And that's where it came down on. And I found that very interesting. Three stories. If you include mine, mine's kind of in between Marissa's and Renaissance Piper's, where she was younger and experienced and had other traumas or stuff that was going on that triggered these events. And I look forward to more of her videos as well. Same with Renaissance Piper. He has more to tell too, which is great. I have one more story to tell. Maybe near the end of the month I'll tell it, but it's not really a ghost story. It's more of me freaking myself out like I did with the squirrel earlier. So Renaissance Piper is kind of like me and being, you know, trying to be logical about it, like trying to break it down, like, all right, what could it be? Marissa seems to be more into the spiritual side and kind of being in tune with that, so to speak, if there's that. I don't know. But it's just interesting. All three stories are pretty interesting, compelling, and I believe mine. I know I experienced. I believe Marissa, Renaissance Piper as well. You know, he's very logical. He tells a great story. It's an interesting tale, and it's fascinating. Certainly fascinating. And then tomorrow I will be going to a cemetery with supposedly a ghost that haunts that. I don't think I'll see anything or experience anything. We're going to find out. Hopefully. That'd be great for content, right? And then I'm going to try to get to Mercy Brown. Hopefully I get there and check that out as well. If not, I might do it this weekend. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But in any case, I'm so happy you guys came forward and told your stories. I look forward to each of you. Both have more to tell, so I look forward to that as well. And I'll be glad to share them with everybody, or at least point them in that direction. So if you have, anyone who's watching this, and even if they're not a subscriber or they just happen to check this video out or whatever, and you want to share your experience, please let me know. I want to know, to be honest. I do. These things, I'm fascinated by them. Good stuff. This is really good. All these ghost stories, really, though, they are a three-pipe problem, as Sherlock Holmes would say. I got to think about these things because, you know, that logical, rational side of you. You experience these things, you hear things, and you see people who are very genuine in what they experience, and they're expressing it, and you're like, what could it be? They don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. I don't think anyone will have the answers, to be honest, but they're fun to hear these stories. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I'm going to finish my pipe, chill out by the fire here, the electric fireplace, have my beer, enjoy the rest of my birthday, and I will see you guys probably in the morning because I have something to talk about with Redcoat because he made me laugh today. And I want to talk about that, and I think that'd be a good time over morning coffee or whatever. And then I'm off to ghost hunt tomorrow afternoon. So, but anyway, I will see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing Renaissance Piper. Be sure to check the links, and I will see you guys later.